Well, first of all, I want to give thanks to the Most High Jah for this opportunity. Before we get into the discussion, how would the masses really know, said this is really Gramps Morgan?
Yeah, man, cause you just said it. I am here. This is Gramps Morgan, man.
All right. The first thing we have to ask you is, how did you feel, some weeks back in February when they announced that the best reggae album is going to Peter Mojo, Gramps Morgan Heritage? How did you feel?
It's a joy, It is a joy, and we was just filled and overwhelmed. We were just filled up. Our spirit was just overwhelmed as 20-something years of work, and to have your music be recognized by such a serious academy, it is a very gratifying feeling, because you are being acknowledged by some of the best musicians, songwriters, and composers in the world. So for that, you are thankful. We've won many other awards before, and those were our Grammys to our people in our community, just like Ghana has the Ghana Awards. That is you guys' Grammys. So just to be acknowledged by your peers and the media and the industry is a great feeling. But the Grammys there's no higher accolade in music than the Grammys. So they say.
True that. Well, of course, I know definitely you wanted to win. But I remember the week before that, I played 5 tunes from each of the 5 albums. Barrington, Levi, Jakir, Rocky Daouni from Ghana, who we was hoping would win. And then, of course, there was also Luciano. Before the award, did you really believe that you was going to take home that Grammy?
You never believe it. It's like when you make a song, you never know if it's going to be a hit record. You never know. You just make it and hope that people will like the song, and the radio stations will play it, and the sound man and the DJs will play it. So we didn't know if we would win or not. We was hoping that people would look into all of the songs. And the Grammy Awards is not based on popularity or record sales. So if you sell 1 million records, it doesn't matter. I've seen Shaggy send 10 million records and didn't even get nominated. 10 million records and was never nominated. So it's not really it's not a sale thing or a popularity. It's not based on records. So that's the Billboard Awards. That is the amount of records you have sold. But with the Grammys, it's a peer industry. People want to listen to the composition, the songwriting, the quality, what instruments are on it. Is it live? Is it drum machine? That is what the Grammys look for.
Saying, all right, now on our program, we always say it's not just about the music, but it's about the promotion of education through music. And on our platform, we try to educate our listeners. And then in recent times, some Ghanaians are trying to understand the difference between dancehall and reggae, roots rock, lovers rock. What's the difference for education purpose?
It's not hard to see. It's not hard to see, really. But when it comes to knowing the difference between reggae and dancehall, reggae is one drop. Bob Marley did not do dancehall. Peter Tosh didn't do dancehall. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Well, that is reggae. And when you listen to people like Shabba Ranks, who DJ upon reggae music and dancehall, people like Buju Banton, reggae and dancehall, so there's people that can do both. But when you hear the dancehall beat, people like Beenie Man, Vibes Cartel, Anthony B, that's very versatile, Capleton, Sizzler. It's people that's versatile like that. And if I wanted to do dancehall, I could do dancehall too. I probably wouldn't be as good as Elephant Man and man like Shatta Wale and Stone Boy, because them man, they study dancehall, But we are capable to do it, and most dancehall and reggae artists can go back and forth. But there's 2 genres. One is more like a hip-hop kind of vibe, which is dancehall, and reggae is a more conscious lovers rock vibe.
Would you agree with those that think some artists are just dancehall artists, or can we also call them all reggae artists?
An artist is an artist, but sometimes when you build your music, and most of what you do, you're going to be known for. Because if Jay-Z do a jazz album tomorrow, they're not going to call him a jazz artist.
Okay.
And in the past, you had other artists did a reggae album. That doesn't mean that they are reggae artists. They just did the genre of reggae. If I do an R&B album tomorrow, that don't mean I'm an R&B artist. I just did an R&B album. So we are artists, but we get put in boxes sometimes, and it's natural, because if somebody see an artist that he was first exposed by dancehall and his first 3 albums was dancehall music, they're gonna categorize you as a dancehall artist.
All right. Column rhythm. You know, you have a tune called Social Network.
Yeah.
And if I get the words right, you know, you're trying to say that's like the New World Order. You know, what exactly are you trying to get across in that tune?
I'm not trying to get across anything. I'm speaking what is going on, and it's not the New World Order. The New World Order, I think, is a little more complicated than the social media.
Okay.
I think the New World Order is more complicated than the internet.
Okay.
So they say. But in that song, talk about social media is that we don't want our people to get lost in social media and begin to destroy one another, because we Africans have become very critical of each other on social media and try to destroy each other. Whether it's man or woman, colleague to colleague, people arguing with the media, it's just not a good look, especially for us Africans. We have different things to face like poverty, lack of education, sex and violence against women. So we just want them to be aware that don't get lost in social media. Enjoy it and connect, because me and you can tweet back and forth, Twitter. And you are all the way in Africa and I'm all the way in Russia or Japan, and when I'm touring, I'm talking to you. But we cannot use it to destroy each other. And I've seen it too much. I've seen Chris Brown and Drake going at war on social media. I've seen Bounty Killer and Mr. Vegas at war on social media. It's not a good thing that we are discussing our squabbles as a people publicly. It's not good. And if we remember the ways of our forefathers, we handle our problems together in the village. And then we hold a court and talk about it amongst ourselves. So that is the message in the song, that do not use social media to destroy each other. Because I've seen it so many times that people say, oh, this man come and interview Gramps Morgan, but he didn't have on a nice shirt. What kind of shirt is that you give Morgan Heritage interviewing? Foolishness like that, right? You've seen it. So we need to stop it.
All right. Let me ask about another tune. What if what you believe in is so far from the truth? My friend, have you ever questioned that?
Yes. Because there's a lot of people that don't question the thing that is talking to them inside, and they just go within a routine of life. They just go with what the grandma said, they went with what their mother said. Find the truth for yourself, and that's why I believe in the power of sovereignty. Sovereignty, we learned this from His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Emperor of Ethiopia. Sit upon the Davidic throne, crown, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. In November 2nd, 1930, the world acknowledged this. So he teach me that sovereignty is very important. Do you know what sovereignty means?
That's like the control over yourself.
Thank you, Jack. Sovereignty means knowing of oneself. And there's a lot of, think about how many youths that don't know themselves. How many?
Well, that's the masses.
They're all over the world. They're in Jamaica, they're in America, New York, Miami, LA, Chicago. Young black youths killing one another because they don't know themselves and they don't know their history. Because if they study the Ashanti history, if they study the Maasai warrior, they will understand certain things. And that's why it's at a point where it's tribal war. Black people killing one another for what? For what? So those are the things we just want them to remember. To say, hey, remember where we're coming from. And that's why the new album of Morgan Heritage is called Strictly Roots, because we have to get back to the roots of where we come from, not roots music. Music is temporary and music changes every day, but the roots can never change.